Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I don't know what this is. What sort of setting did I mess up now? All right, it might sound like we're in like a airport where they keep the planes and they have the thing and you can hear, because we've got about 3 fans going. It's a little toasty up in here today. This is very scary looking, but we'll just say it's fun that way. I suppose everyone is addressing, even in their smallest groups, because I actually have the smallest station of all of YouTube, is, I would say that I can't believe Trump got his ear shot off, but I knew I could see something going haywire. I just wasn't clear as to who, but that a whole bunch of people were going to start getting capsized, and it's really sad. And I hope you know I had made peace with Trump. Well, he doesn't know me from Doomsday, but I made my peace with the situation several years ago. I was actually worried then when he became president as to what was going on. But then in a way I couldn't really say much anymore because I never thought I would have seen the day, but I just gave up on voting. I had enough trouble just trying to keep my own head from getting shot off. Come on up, mister. You need attention all the time, and if something appears to be not on your attention radar. No, actually they're very upset right now because there's a storms are coming through. I would say we put the light on, but that would be even maybe scarier because I rolled out of bed a little bit ago. And we know what the hair's doing. Oh, they're upset. That's why we sit in a darker room together. When I don't have something to do, but with them, just to kind of keep them pieced out a bit. Okay, so we're not seeing a decrease in our issues, so I don't know if other people are, but we did like this thing where we have to drive, like, we'll say we're going to go one place, but then we try to hurry and get up over somewhere else if we want to just, I don't know, enjoy ourselves like normal people do. And we thought maybe a spot where we can go that's cool and we can see some ships go down the river while we're eating on the patio, and everything was going dandy, and I'm hoping I can loop back around. I don't generally, I mean, I am a broken record, but I don't know what to say about Trump, and I don't want to start crying, and I did cry when I saw that footage, but yes, I am an easy crier. Things hit me sideways or easier or more intensely than most. I'm in that ridiculous group of humans, and yes, I said ridiculous. And but I was really upset because I could see someone getting one of the ones that are, you know, well, I can see more than one, and then this is coming around to the anniversary of when I had the silent sonic explosion thing happen to me. And then a year or so prior to that, I don't even know if it was a full year, I had a bullet fly in front of my face. Actually, it was right at my head, so technically, because I bent over at the camp, it was a colder night. It was about March or April of the 1 year prior to the... And so obviously then that gets me a little worried. Because I'm not really a high profile person, so that's what's getting me. That's what confuses me sometimes. So I hope I can remember to say what I need to say about when we went back to this place, thinking maybe we might see some, I say the wrong word, it's cargo ships. For some reason I say freights. I guess it could be cargo freights, but that's not accurate because it would be more than one. So we didn't end up seeing any go through there, but we did have fun seeing some pontoon boats. I kind of fancy them. I think they're kind of cool. It's just like kind of like, you know, you're just kind of lazily floating down the waterway. It's just fun. I think they're cool. And I always figured if we ever got a boat of sorts, something like that, like a pontoon, so the pups have like an enclosed area. But you can't see him because it's too dark in here. And I don't want to turn on that one light. I could try one other light. But the camera may also, because I haven't erased my space there. Oh, geez. It was just a bit much for us. We went to this other place. We tried and tried. Could not find a farmer's market close enough where we weren't driving like literally over 2.5 hours to get more of what we need or want. Which, granted, if we're going to have to drive 2.5 hours, we will. It's just that leaves the property unattended. And I don't honestly believe that these 2 bins, because I thought we were processing through our water well enough, I don't believe that was actually us. I just simply don't. When I opened these several half gallons, or they're a little bigger maybe, I'm not sure if it's a half gallon, a little more than a half gallon bottles, they were all glass bottles, and the chemical, just nearly asphyxiating odor came out of them. This is one of my ramble sessions for Sunday. I'm also concerned about Pastor Baldwin. Well, guess what? We're concerned about you, dum-dum. Okay, that was for me. And then, okay, so we went to this cool place. We think we found our spot. Maybe we were going to have our own little table. We were, you know, like a little old couple, but we're not that old. So it was a lot busier, though. I mean, this place was booming the other night. Maybe there was some sort of festival, something that we weren't aware of. So it was way more people than when we visited the last other weekend night. A couple weeks back or so, I believe. So just as we're starting to get our food, or we're getting ready to get our food, or maybe we already had our salads, this man, I don't have eyes in the back of my head, just so if anyone's thinking that. They are right up here in the front. But I can sense, you know, you just have that sense of energy around you. And so we're having fun. We're watching the little boats. There's a bunch of kids that night. They're all rambunctious, some of them on the patio. So that was fun energy. Not like over the top, but, you know, just kids being kids. And the youngest, so that like when you're out to eat and then finally they can't take it anymore because you're making them sit still too long. So that was kind of funny. I mean, the parents probably don't think it's funny, but I do. So they were curious. 2 of them were curious. Kids usually they're curious about me a lot of times, and so sometimes they'll even just come right up to me and we just stare at one another and smile or whatever. But gosh, what is this story going? This guy comes in with this woman, and yes, the tables are a little more stacked in on the patio, but he took his chair that was behind us, so then when he sits down, his back would be to our backs, okay? But I was still kind of sitting at an angle. He comes in and just throws his, like shoves the chair to make like a really obnoxious noise towards us. Like it was more of a violent air about it. And then I don't even have to look at these guys. It's usually if it's not the thug cops or the ex-cops that were fired, or if it's not like an associate of, if it's not one of those, I'm usually shocked, because they have the same energy. I hate to say the same demons, but quite frankly, I'm gonna go with that one. And because it's a similar one anyways. I don't know like how that all works, but it's like they have the same demon, the same dart, this very... So, but see, this isn't even work, because we can be like, oh, well, maybe he just didn't want to go out with his girlfriend or whatever. No, it was deliberate. And so then now I've got the girl, she's facing us, and she's just staring and just reading our lips, staring me down. And I'm like, no, I'm sick of us getting shoved around. We are always getting shoved out of places or stuck, or they'll try to confine us like they did at this grocery store last night. That was a real doozy. I'm like, John, I wonder if we go home, see flames flying up on the top of the roofs of the old garage and stuff. I mean, in the house itself. So, but see, this is where it gets even more interesting. Is then it looks like we've got more than one server, or because they're so busy, they're all having to do more teamwork, and maybe they are wanting some of us to clear out. But we hadn't really been there that long, and I wasn't doing any hooting or hollering. We're just sitting there. Something had to have went on between the parking lot, maybe our truck, maybe this thug. I did not get a good look at him. I ain't looking at these guys anymore. I have to put up a major like block spiritually and physically just to avoid these, to look. I don't want no eye contact with their evil ways. But then the one female comes out, and she hadn't really been serving us. It's this guy that we met the last time, so that was fun. And she goes, I said, well, we were going to order maybe something else. So she is, oh, you mean to go? And I'm like, I don't know. She just looked stressed, but it could have been because it was so busy. But she kept looking at the two behind us, and I'm like, well, I mean, we were kind of wanting to stay a little longer, but I guess that wasn't what some people maybe thought that we should do, and it didn't feel like disrespect. It just seemed like whatever we didn't see, they saw, and so maybe it was just time that we go. And that's over 20 miles away. That's down close to Cherry Street and the main street, Cherry, and I don't know, it changes names. I always mess it up. So it literally goes along mostly the coast of the river there, goes through some old parts, but you're mainly still kind of riding along the river from Point Place down. But we had come from over farther, and then we have these couple roads we cut through now to cut over to avoid the major city streets, like Cherry and stuff, and you can kind of do like where you go around. So we had stopped. We tried 2 different stops, but they were actually, the Trailblazers were worse in Toledo this weekend than normal. But I had a really bad week overall, if I was to like rate it in the sense of some anxiety. Then I guess solar flares were really big. I don't even want to admit to what, like, it's the thing where I'm ready to go. Like, we have to, you know, like we have to flee. It's really horrible, and I would never wish it on my worst. Well, I might wish it. No, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So in the process of this, when I'm having a panic, a lot of times stuff will get lost accidentally, or maybe it falls out of the car, or I'm so panicked about, well, I don't know, I guess people getting their heads blown off. The acceleration of murders and shootings is, how is it going to decrease from here? It's not feeling like it's going to decrease from here. It just seems like this energy is going, it keeps shooting up, and it's not a good up. It's what I was saying several years ago. So, really long video to say, I'm probably going to cry. If someone needs someone to cry with, here I am. And we're going to pray really quick. I don't think I can get the words out. Is it just gonna be me crying? Please, God, we need you. We know that none of us have been able to do it right, or to do it right enough, and we were weak. And we went along with agendas, or agendas were forced on us that a lot of us didn't want. And then we just ended up going along with certain things. But a lot of us didn't want to go along with it. And a lot of us did not want to be trapped. Please, God, I'm begging you, God, please. Please help reduce the violence. It's like you're letting it go, where you're just letting it escalate. Please, God. Please make it stop, Lord. Please. Please. I knew what was going to happen when they brought the 5G in. A lot of us did. We can't blame the guns. They have destroyed people's brains and minds, and people are not thinking right, and some of us are reacting when we shouldn't, or getting loud maybe when we should or when we shouldn't. I don't know, but I do know that this is not good, and it's not slowing down. And I guess out of all that, if it's not going to stop, please, if some of us are supposed to make it to the other side of whatever this is, please give us the endurance we need. And please, Lord, though, if some of us can just come home, I think we would prefer that at this rate. Not out of weakness, just out of... It's been too long of a road, and some of us would just like to come home. If we simply can't go down to a Rusty Bag of Nails to have a couple salads and a couple snacks and just to have some peace. If we can't even do that, it's ridiculous. If Trump can't even do a rally without some kid that obviously went bonkers too, or got paid off or whatever. Gotta go. I just pray that you help us, whoever has to endure, that we can endure till the end of whatever is the end of, and if there's another side to this, that we can make it to the other side. Amen.